It's almost the exact size of this.
I can see that my dad was using this because the bit is pretty much black. If you can preserve something and reuse it, why not, right? So it looks ghetto, I know.
Oh man, this is not good.
The only problem is when you have a truck this old, it's really, really tough to find parts. I can't see any way around this. This really sucks.
That was mostly just junk, right?
Well, that looks pretty good.
Oh.
Alright, so it's been a little while since we worked on the Jeep. In fact, it's been almost a year. We're here in the summer now, and we're just about to finish it off. Didn't get to finish off complete last year because it's a pretty big project, but we thought this year we'd get her done. Now there's a couple things that need to be done. The main thing is the interior. There's really not much of it other than the seats and a couple of the fascia boards and whatnot, but we actually have to put in all the interior, the seat, all the plastic pieces and everything. The only problem is when you have a truck this old, it's really, really tough to find parts. So what I did is I went to the scrapyard and I got as many parts as I can, and I'll show you what I got. So here is the inside of my Jeep, or at least what will be the inside of my Jeep. Every plastic piece and molding and cover you can imagine. You know, I was gonna make all custom stuff inside the Jeep, but then I've tried to do this before. I tried doing the sealing and whatnot and wrapping it with fake leather. It just doesn't work. Unless you do this for a living, it's gonna look like garbage, so just don't do it. But what I did was I went to the Junkyard, a place called Kenny Upel here in Ottawa, and this wasn't an option available before, so I went, and sure enough they had a 98 Jeep, and look at this, every single piece I need is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint everything here, much like I painted the inside over there, and I'm actually going to try to salvage every piece in here so I don't have to make everything all over again. Now there are a couple differences, as you can see. If my speakers are just going to be blocked by this, what I'll do is I'll cut them out and I'll put it in. The speakers are actually in the ceiling piece, so they have two built-in speakers. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hack it, and I'm going to end up using those speakers as well because I bought them. And I'm going to connect my back speakers, cut them out here, should look much better. I'm going to be painting pretty much everything except this. I'm not going to be painting this because, one, this is fabric. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it, and I don't mind a little piece of gray. It's not the end of the world. I'll just wash it. This already looks pretty good, and it has a whole bunch of features. It's from a 98, so it has, like, I think it has a digital clock and all this other stuff you can do. You can change stuff. I don't even know what it does, but all I'm going to connect is these guys and these guys. So all the lights, that's what I'm going to try to do. That's all I really need. I don't care about a digital display, but it will look nice inside that Jeep. And over there is the piece for the ceiling. And as you can see, it has the built-in speakers, dome light, and configuration. Now, I wasn't gonna take this at first because my car is a little bit different. It's an 88, and it doesn't have the speakers and all this stuff. But then I decided if I'm using the center console, I might as well use this piece. So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna attach this. Hopefully I can get the electrical going. And one last thing I'm gonna do is, this obviously doesn't look too great. And I really wanted to have it reupholstered, put some leather on and whatnot, but with this COVID thing, it's just really difficult to do anything. So I'm going to take a risk, and some of you will be like, that's a good idea, or some of you are going to say that's a bad idea. I'm actually going to try to spray paint this, just like I'm going to spray paint everything else. I know the plastic will work. I've done it before. I have no idea how this fabric will work, but it already looks terrible, so I don't really care. If it looks bad, whatever, I can cover it. And if it looks somewhat passable, then I don't have to cover this up because I really don't want to. Now the interior really hasn't changed all that much since I've been here last. In fact, it hasn't changed at all. One thing I really want to do is put a bench seat in here. And earlier on I was talking about the old seat, and then I was trying to find a new seat to replace it. And I got a great solution, but I'm not going to show it to you right now. You're going to have to watch the rest of the video. We're going to put in all the other plastic pieces first, and then we're going to put it in. But before we can do anything, we gotta spray this all down. So what we're gonna do the same thing we did before. Just use our old good friend, the sandable primer. You know, get it all sprayed, put a semi-gloss finish on it, and we'll see how it goes. painted the plastics. Now what we're gonna try to do is, yeah, I'm gonna try to paint this thing. I don't know how it's gonna go. I might ruin it. Who knows? But it's not that beautiful anyways. And if it looks somewhat better, then it's cool. If not, then I guess I'll get it reupholstered. We'll see. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a Jeep after all. So let's see how this goes. Let's see what happens, because I really don't know. Oh. I just sprayed my vinyl siding like an idiot. Oh my god, I didn't... That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just do something stupid. Okay, let's just try this area. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This is a primer. I don't even think I need primer. I should just do the final coat. But I'm just playing around to see what will happen. Yeah, I think we'll try the semi-gloss paint. See what happens, and I'll probably block that. I think my wife's gonna kill me for that one. I wrote like the video. Sounds awesome to like the video, but I wasn't able to see it in frame. Okay, so this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. And as terrible as it looks right now, I gotta tell you, I think it's actually going to work. Because when I look in these areas, it actually looks pretty good. So if I do this, I don't have to re-sew everything. I know there's going to be some wrinkles and stuff, but I really don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect. It would just complete it. Plus, this has another layer of soundproofing, so just protect it all that much more. At least that's the hope. We're gonna take a pause now. We're gonna work on these ones. We're gonna paint these before I run on paint, because it's gonna take a lot more paint than I thought. And then we'll see what happens. Alright, so this is going to take a while, as you can see. But it's actually going pretty good. I'm going to keep working on this off camera, because it's going to take a lot more time. But if you look over there, the plastic pieces actually turn out really good. Like, they might need a little touch-up or two, but those look pretty darn swanky. So it looks ghetto, I know, and it kind of is. But you know what? The best part about this whole project is the fact that these materials were only $150 at dump. Now this is stuff, I went to the dump last year, or the wrecking yard. There was 5 Cherokees there, and they were all in really bad condition. And when I went through this time, there was only 1. So you know those ones just went to the scrap yard and they got taken apart. I think it's just awesome that I was able to strip the last Cherokee that was there, take all these parts and get to reuse them for another, 20, 30 years hopefully. I just think it's a great idea of recycling and just getting as little things to dump as possible. Plus, it cost me $150, which is awesome. I just put $40 of paint on that. I actually just realized that now. I'm spray painting fabric. I should have just bought the cheapest spray paint I could find, but I decided to go with $20 a spray paint bottle. I'm not sure why I did that, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep going with this. Once this is all done, we'll put into the Jeep. Alright, so this week, I'm actually not going to be working on the Jeep. It's actually been a couple weeks since we finished painting all those plastic pieces. Everything's ready to go. But I wanted to add in something completely different that has nothing to do with the Jeep, but I thought it was kind of interesting and I thought I'd throw it in. So, if you've seen the side of my house, likely, it looks like crap. That side yard has been used for many years. It's always looked terrible. It's a huge mess. It's pretty much where we store garbage for the last 3.5 years, and anytime I need to paint anything for the Jeep, that's where I do it, because it's a good area for that. But now all the painting's finished and it's time to move on. And instead of working on the Jeep for the last few weeks, I decided to do something a little different. Decided to tackle the side yard. Now, I only really get to work on weekends, so I don't really have that much time. So you really have to pick and choose what you're doing. In my regular life, I guess you could say, or my job, I actually work with another YouTube channel. It's called Home Renovation DIY, and it's a how-to renovation channel. We do 1 to 2 videos a week, and it's a great channel. Lots of great, fantastic videos, how to do stuff. And at the same time, what we've done is this year we've started a second channel called Reality Renovation, which is an episode, and there's a new episode every 3 weeks. So I have to apologize for anybody who watches this channel. The reason I haven't released any videos for more than half a year, and I haven't really filmed anything since last year, it's just, you know, I'm just unfortunately really busy with that channel. So the 2 channels pretty much take up all my time, so I only really get weekends here and there, and even then depends on the weather. So that's why it's already midsummer and I'm just starting this Jeep project. So sorry about that, but you know, you can only do what you can do. But the cool thing, the reason I wanted to mention all this stuff is, so that side path, I had an idea of how to do it. A couple years back, we had filmed a shed project, which is right in front of me, for home renovation DIY, and it was created with this concrete mixer. So I actually have the mixer right here, and a lot of people have seen that. That's actually our most famous or popular video of all time, so it's kind of funny. And the reason I had bought it was, oh, there's Lorenzo. It's a squirrel of mine. He always comes for nuts. He's coming over. The reason I bought it was because if you ever watch Trailer Park Boys, there's an actor, his name's, well, his name in the show is Jim Leahy. Unfortunately, the guy passed away a couple years ago. His real name's John Dunsworth. He made this video on doing these rock projects, and he's just basically preserving his property from the Atlantic Ocean with rocks and concrete, and I thought it was really cool. And I actually, that's why I bought the mixer. I wanted to do something like that. So it's been several years since that, and this year I decided that's what I'm gonna do. So I bought this mixer and I called it the Dunsworth to honor him, because it's kind of an idea of why we got it. And this thing has mixed over 100 bags of concrete since. We did the shed with it. I did some little things around the property. It's been a great tool. And for this project, I'm actually going to use these red rocks I have. If you've watched Reality Renovation, you've actually seen these rocks likely. They're actually from that crappy basement. And full disclosure, that's actually my parents' basement. My dad actually built that wall, and after months and months of convincing him, he finally ripped it down because he was doing a bathroom in there, and he completed a bathroom from start to finish, and it looks great. He put tons of work in. He brought all those rocks over, and he was really sad to get rid of them because it took him years to collect them. I said, you know what, Dad, give me the rocks. I have an idea. So not only did he bring the pieces of concrete, he brought the gravel, the rocks. I'm going to use all that material to create the path, because I want to finish the path and make it look similar to that. So I'm just going to preserve that, all that work he did, you know? What we're doing here is we're recycling. The reason I wanted to include this on the channel is because the Jeep, it's all about reusing and recycling stuff, so stuff doesn't go into the dump, you know? I pulled that entire interior out of the junkyards. That would just end up in landfill. Let's not do that. If you can preserve something and reuse it, why not, right? So I'm going to use those rocks. I'm going to use the concrete and gravel and fill it all in. And it's not going to cost that much money. All I got to do is, I've already done the calculations, all I got to do is buy the concrete. So I'm going to use that, keep that going. I'm going to use the Dunsworth, you know, in tribute of the actor. And we'll see how it goes. I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing to add. So I'm not going to show the whole process of me doing this thing. I'm just going to go to the end, because unfortunately I don't have that much time to show you. So here she is, all finished. Sorry about all the garbage. Don't really have anywhere to put it right now, and my house has to look like a dump at all times. So she's all done. Check it out. Actually, it turned out really good, considering I've never done this before. I'm pretty happy with it. Still have to polish it and put some like clear paint on it. It's like the wet look stuff for stone. That should be pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. And another cool thing is the front row over here. I actually added some stones, and those are from Prince Edward Island, where my brother lives. So this whole path, I really love the Maritimes. Anyone that knows me, that's, though I don't live there, that's kind of where my heart is. And but this area here it's kind of significant for me. So we got the rocks from Prince Edward Island. We got my dad's rocks. It's kind of a lot of personality in this path. All right, I think we should get going on that Jeep.
Oh man, this is not good. Oh. You know, I would love to just jump in this thing and start working on it and do the interior, but I got a massive problem on my hands. Last year when I finished, I had a lot of problems with leaks, and I thought I had finished them all, and I did in the front. But what happened was the roof started leaking in the middle, and there was just a couple of drips. It didn't look too bad, and this was late in the season, so I didn't have time to fix it. And it was leaking to, I can hear my squirrel eating nuts again. It's here almost every day. It was leaking between the batteries in the back, but it didn't seem like a very big amount, so I wasn't too worried. And when I moved the truck in the spring, I noticed water was leaking from underneath, so I thought that some water might have got in. I just looked here and I saw some rust. I pulled this carpet here and take a look underneath what's going on. Pure rust. I have a feeling it's the exact same thing on the other side, because when I moved the truck, I had water on both sides leaking. So as much as I want to do the interior, if I don't fix this floor, it's gonna rust out again. So I gotta take a break. I gotta rip everything out again, and I gotta start all over again. I can't see any way around this. This really sucks. This is not what I was hoping for. It's gonna be a lot of work. I'm not gonna show that on camera because that's just crazy. That literally took 2 years. You know, what sucks most about that is the fact that I put the waterproofing system in there. I put all the rubber and everything. I actually made it worse because it trapped all the water between those layers. So now there's water trapped between there. It's just gonna keep rotting away unless I get rid of it all. Uh-oh, that looks concerning. Yeah, it looks like we got rain coming. Anyways, this whole thing might have actually been a blessing in disguise, because it didn't really take long to do that one side. And another thing is, when I was doing the soundproofing last time, I bought different soundproofing at the end because I couldn't find this stuff anymore. And look at the quality difference. This one's really hard. This one's really kind of like floppy. And when I put this in, I didn't see much of a difference. And when I read reviews, people were saying there wasn't much difference. I read the reviews on this one, it was really good. Twice as expensive, so hopefully lining the whole floor with this one will have more protection, because I didn't find the soundproofing was quite that extreme. This is the cheap Chinese stuff, this is not. So double the price, hopefully double the quality. Of course, this is better than nothing, but I'm really hoping this will do more. This is what happens when water penetrates your waterproofing system. All that water just got trapped under there. Everything's just rusting away. Gotta remove it all. Alright, so let's just go over the plan. We're just about ready to go. Everything's been painted and all our parts are pretty much ready. All the little pieces here, they look pretty good, you know, being painted. I'm quite impressed by that. Looks brand new. I did break a piece by accident a while ago, so what I did is I used some JB Weld, a little piece of aluminum back here, so just to hold together. It says it's stronger than super glue. It's actually really quite strong. I'm quite impressed with that. Might just need one more shot of paint on that just to make it look a little bit better, but that's fine. It doesn't dry that long. This center console, it's got the 4 lights. What I really want to do is I really don't want to put in those piss yellow lights, so I bought this a long time ago and they just started making LEDs. It's actually gone yellow on me, but you kind of just put it in and it goes in like this. Now, I wasn't sure if I had the right one, so I went on Amazon. I bought just 4 of these without that, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this whole, these kind of seats, and I'm just going to go direct right into the wires here, so I'll just have them come through and then just they have like an adhesive, so the adhesive will go back there, so they'll actually sit flatter. That's what I want. They're supposed to come later today, so hopefully they do, because we're putting this stuff in. So right now I'm just leaving all this stuff here. If we can resurrect this, and we're not going to connect all the other electronics, but if we can just get the 4 lights, that'd be good. Now the next stage is for the back part. I actually lost the light like a big idiot. I lost it. I probably fell in a dump or something. So what I did is I went to just Canadian Tire and I actually picked up an LED, and it has a switch on it, and turns out it's almost the exact size, which is awesome. So that's good, because it's not, once again, it's not gonna be like a piss yellow. It's gonna be a nice blue or light. I don't know. Might still be yellow. I haven't actually tried it out, but anyways, it's new. It's LED. So what I'm gonna do is I'll show you on the unit here. Now the cool thing about this light, it's almost the exact size of this. So it's going to go back here, and as you can see, it has an area for 4 screws, but the only way I can attach that is if I have something back here. So what I did is I just took this metal plate. I'm going to put this metal plate like this, glue it on, make sure there's room for the wires, and then just drill 4 holes from the other side, and then that way I could attach it after the fact, because when I put this on, I have to be able to put the light on afterwards, because I have to wire it first. So I'm just going to extend the slit, put that on, and keep it going. Alright, so it's time for some creative problem solving. So I've got this piece of diamond plate, I think that's what it's called. And what I want to do is I want to cut it in half, but I don't want to cut it in half jarred. I want it to be really straight. So what I did is I just took a piece of aluminum and I clamped it down so it doesn't move around, so it's kind of like a table saw. Hopefully that's what it works like. I'm going to use a jigsaw to cut down. I just want it as straight as possible. I can see that my dad was using this because the bit is pretty much black. Like, look at this thing. This thing's got no life left on it. I can't even cut my finger with that. It's so funny. Classic Polish dude. It's like, let's get, you know what's got a little bit more life in it? It's got another 2 cuts. Look at that. That is garbage. We're going to change it up and put a new blade on, because that's just a little dangerous. Here's that jigsaw blade close up. Look, it looks like an old quarterback. You know, he's got 1 more game in him and he's done. He's retiring, you know? Well, this thing's retiring right now. Now, I've never done this before, so I don't know if this is going to work, so I'll put my glasses on, you know, just to be safe, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to round off the edges a little bit. Okay, so here's my crazy idea. I'm going to grab these guys, and they're going to go like this. Center them off, more or less. Something like that. And I'm just going to basically screw them in. Make holes, put some screws through, connect them, and this is it. And at the same time, I'll show you another cool little idea I had. See, like, this was pretty boring before, right? It was just a ugly ass gray thing, nasty, right? But look, painting it made it look better. Although it's a little wrinkly and still doesn't look that great. But at the same time, it already looks so much better. Now what I can do is, if I put this on, I think it's going to look really sharp. I'm not sure about this yet. I had this idea. These came with the Bushwhacker fender flares. They're basically rubber gaskets that go along the edges. I didn't install them because I didn't like them. I don't know, I might put them on. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe we'll see. But then I'll get a cleaner look, that's for sure. You won't see these nasty edges. So I think I might put them on. They have like an adhesive on them. And we'll see if I can make them work. Maybe I'll put them on. I'm not really sure yet. But look, just those 2 things. And now let me get the center console. Kind of complete the vision for you. You know, this is something that was in the dump. Keep in mind. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of coming apart right now, but look, this thing, you just put it on. Already looks much better. And then, of course, we have the speaker covers, which I ripped off. Boom, you put those on. Okay, I'm just putting them on. I don't want to snap them in yet. And then finally, the light, which is a little bit too small, so I might create some sort of bracket for this. I'm not really sure. But take a look at that. That was mostly just junk, right? And now it actually looks pretty cool, at least in my mind. Alright, let's take a look how this looks now. I had just enough. Wow, that looks awesome. So I just used those 2 pieces of metal that I got, cut it in half, got rid of the edges, and then I just put on these rubber weather stripping pieces that came with the Bushwhacker fender flares. So I'm glad I didn't throw those out. I had just enough to do it, but that just gives a really clean edge, so it doesn't look all nasty, and this looks good. Looks much better. So I'll just put the screws in. It should be ready to go. Alright, so a little update. Before we put the pieces in, we got a lot going on with wiring. My dad's just in the back putting on the lights. He's just wiring everything up. And I also got these things. These are little LED light strips. We're going to put 2 of these under each seat. And underneath where your feet rest, just over here, wheel wells. And that should be pretty cool. So we've connected all the electrical. Now we're ready to put the ceiling in. Alright, another day. So, no, I didn't sleep here, contrary to popular belief. Almost finished last night, but the mosquitoes got really bad, so that was a pretty long day. I had to kind of call her a day. Gonna get this done today, and that should be it. Very long day yesterday, but I think it was worth it. Alright, so I'm just working on the last connection here. What I'm doing right now is I'm connecting a whole bunch of these LED light strips. There's gonna be lights underneath the seats and the wheel wells here, so it should be pretty cool. Just gonna finish that off. Can't really see how good it looks till nighttime, but you know, get all connected. Alrighty, all the interior and the lights are in. They're all finished. There's just one more thing to do. Been kind of saving this for the end. Remember that crappy old seat I mentioned at the beginning? I said I was either gonna get rid of it or save it. Well, we saved it. Check this out. This is that same seat you saw likely right at the beginning. That's one part. And the other part is really heavy, so I'll try to lift it by myself here. There, really nice, I think. So, and you know what? That only cost about $350. So they've been sitting in my basement for almost a year now. Finally had time to put them in. Well, I haven't put them in yet. I'm just about to do that. Just was at my folks' place. Had my mom actually cut the straps on the bottom because one of the parts has it's for the batteries, right? It's really like customized. You got 2 compartments, right? So that's where the batteries go. They actually cover them, so we had to adjust it. They also added an inch of foam, which is what I asked for because I was hoping for more comfort for people. So I'm not sure if that's going to affect the design or not, but there's actually a full inch of foam here. So let's go put these in, see what they look like and see if they fit. Comes in there. I don't remember the order. I think looks pretty good. That's pretty scary. Well, that looks pretty good. Last thing left to do is try it out. Oh, that's so good. Wow, that's really comfortable. I remember you can kind of feel the battery before, but this is great. This is really nice. Like it matches these seats perfectly. Got some light. Holy cow. Pretty close to the ceiling. If you're like over 6 feet tall, you might be touching it, but I don't have any giants coming inside the car. This is really nice. I wish I could show my wife, but she's unfortunately working weekends because she's an essential worker. They got to go through some hell, I'll tell you, during this time. I hope everybody appreciates how hard those people work because it's a lot of work. This is really nice. Well, I think I'll show you how everything looks now that it's all finished. Guys, I gotta tell you, I'm actually blown away with how good that looks. That's amazing how you can take some stuff from the dump, spray paint it, reclaim it, put a little, extra little touch on it, your personal touch, and bam, there you go, The seats have been reclaimed, all the pieces have been reclaimed. That's amazing. This is my favorite part about working on the truck, or it doesn't matter if you're working on a truck or whatever, but these old cars, how creative you could be, The limit is your imagination, and the cool thing is if you get something like that and you just nail it, I'm so proud of that, what we done, and I'm really thankful for my dad for doing all that work. That was a hell of a lot of work. It took us pretty much the whole weekend to get that thing done, and I'm just really happy. So if you're creative, you can come up with some really cool stuff. I'm telling you, that thing, that's an 88 now. It's got LED lights, it's got a dashboard with a Android display. It's got, you know, new speakers and seats, front seats, back seats. It's just a really, really cool setup. So last thing I gotta do is fire it up just to see if it's still running because I haven't turned it on in about a couple months. So let's take a look. Ah, well, it started, that's good. Unfortunately, neither the boost gauge nor the oil pressure gauge worked, which really sucks. I was really hoping at least one of them would, but what can you do? You can't win them all. I can always fix that later, but at least they look complete. So I think the last thing we want to just do, see how the lights look at night. It's now the end of the 11th stage of rebuilding this thing. Next time we're going to be working on the end, the last part, the rear bumper, fuel tank, and tire carrier. But look who it is. It's my baby. Come take a look, other side. Do this one first. You gotta press the button. There you go. Check it out.
Oh,
What do you think?
it's so cool.
Hit that switch in the middle. Look on the ground.
Whoa. Oh, you put red.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Look at the ceiling.
I know, it's freaking nice.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yes. Make sure to check out some of our other videos, as well as our short film entitled Ottawa, in which we integrated the Jeep restoration process into the movie.